So let me try to hit the little background before it turns black, okay? So in the early 1990s, we had a huge influx of ELL students, okay? So we had a huge percentage of a big increase in the classroom. So then we had like a bunch of red lights flashing like, how are we going to address this issue, okay? So people started implementing what was known as a sheltered instruction course. They started making sheltered instruction settings. Okay, so then the issue became, is this actually successful? What data is there that supports that it's actually a successful model? Okay, the problem with that is there wasn't really a clear definition of what sheltered instruction was. Okay? What sheltered instruction was. So then Echevarria, and I have some books from her, and Voigt, basically developed, in California, they basically had this question as to, is it actually successful? And what data is there to show that it's successful? So they developed a protocol. They developed a data collecting observation protocol. So then they set up research basically and said, okay, we're going to go into all these different settings. We're going to develop a data collecting form, and we're going to collect data on the use of this sheltered instruction model and all these different settings. And we're going to go ahead and analyze that data and see if it's actually successful. Okay, so the initial motive behind that was, let's collect the data. Okay, well then once they started collecting the data, then the data supported that yes, it's actually a successful model, but the issue is that there's no clear guidelines as to what SIOP looks like. So in one classroom, in one particular setting, one teacher was doing this and saying, I'm doing sheltered instruction. And then in another setting, somebody else was doing a different strategy and then saying, I'm doing sheltered instruction. So what they were trying to do was create some kind of uniformity. You can say, okay, if we're going to be doing sheltered instruction, what does sheltered instruction actually look like? Okay, and so that's where the SIOP model came from. So that's why it has like this kind of funky name. When we start thinking about sheltered instruction observation protocol, like what do you mean observation protocol? Because initially it started off as an observation tool to collect data. Okay, to see if there's an actual protocol to follow when we're doing sheltered instruction. So the question then at the end became, how can we quantify or measure the success of sheltered instruction lessons? Okay.